Welcome back to the second episode of the It's Just Sport podcast paper review. Now, you obviously heard our bonus podcast during the week where we discussed the international news. So feel free to hit us up on social, on Twitter at JoanneOR underscore OX, at hersport.ie, and on Instagram at hersport.ie and at JoanneOR. I'm Joanne O Riordan. Niamh, it's good to talk to you. Last time I spoke to you, I was dying post Pilates, so things are looking brighter this morning.
I know we've had a busy week. I think it was great to have a chat about the different things we spoke about on Monday. So if anybody wants to check that out, definitely do. But I know we briefly touched on some of the domestic news then, but it's really time to dive into it. So you've loads of news for us today. Do you want to get started on that?
We do, yeah. So we have a lot of news in terms of LGFA, Camogie, and GA as well. So for anyone who missed it, Paul Flynn is moving on from his role as CEO of the Gaelic Players Association. That's important for us because Paul Flynn and the GPA at that time oversaw the amalgamation between the WGPA and the GPA, and it was deemed as one of the most critical elements of merging actually all three sports together, for want of a better term. So those votes actually took place at separate EGMs in mid-December, with 96% of WGPA delegates voting in favour and 100% of GPA delegates also voting in favour. So this will be the fifth CEO in as many years, and I feel like the GPA at the minute and the WGPA, I think they need the consistency in order to achieve all the goals that they want to do in terms of player protection. In other GA news, Mayo LGFA are bringing on Michael Moyles as part of their Mayo Ladies senior manager. He was ratified at a county board meeting last Saturday. And in Camogie news, All Ireland Intermediate champions Down have announced that they will play at senior level in 2021. Now, this is just a request that they have submitted at the minute to the Camogie Association, as there was no automatic promotions in 2020. I think it's exciting this year because there will be an Ulster team in the mix, hopefully, if the request goes through, making it the first time in a long time an even 12 All Ireland senior competition this year if they are ratified. So, yeah, Niamh, it's been busy over in soccer as well. Do you want to tell us what's going on in Cork City and over in Celtic, funnily enough?
Yeah, so Cork City FC are delighted to announce that for the first time, both the club men's and women's teams will play their first team fixtures in Turner's Cross Stadium in the 2021 SSE Airtricity League season. I know there's also been big news for Ireland international Izzy Atkinson. She is signed for professional outfit Celtic Women FC from Shelburne. Atkinson has spent 4 seasons with Shelburne and she is now joining Ireland defender Kiva Keenan at the Glasgow-based club. She's naturally a winger, but she can also play fullback and has excelled at that position before. She won Fan Award, Writer Award, and WNL Award last season. So it's very exciting, and we wish her all the best in her move. We
Yep.
have some athletics news as well. So I know we briefly touched on this the other day, but I think we'll just have a quick recap. So there was a new Irish record set by Nadia Power for the 800-meter indoors at the Vienna International Meet. She took 3 seconds off her personal best and ran 2:02:44, which took 0.02 off Schieffer Clark Butler's record from before. Power will be in action in France this weekend, so definitely something to tune in and see what else she can produce while she's on fire. And also competing at the Vienna International was Sarah Lavin and Ciara Neville. They also both ran personal bests and will be competing in Ostrava in the Czech Republic today. So I'm sure we'll have more news on the website tonight, and hopefully we'll catch up with them soon to just celebrate the opening seasons that they've had so far. I guess we have a bit of news in relation to the Her Sport Awards for anybody that has missed it. I mean, I don't know how they could have missed it because we've had it on all our channels. But look, it was a fantastic year despite everything that happened. It was obviously challenging, but we had some fantastic teams and athletes in action this year. Ciara McGean won the Athlete of the Year, and it was really great to see her commended for just such a successful year, and she's obviously been working hard for such a long time. So she had 3 national records. She was the first Irish woman to go under 2 minutes for the 800 meters, which is brilliant. And then she also broke Sonia O'Sullivan's 27-year-old record for the 1,000 meters at the Diamond League. Both of these records came in quick succession, and after while everybody else was still essentially in some form of lockdown. So she had done so much training with her team in Manchester with Team New Balance, and it was just great to see that all the hard work that they had done throughout the difficult times, having to adapt to the situation paid off. And, it shows that, athletes can make the most of it. And I mean, anybody can make the most of the situation and really still come out on top. She had an indoor 1500-meter record earlier in the year as well. So hopefully we'll see Ciara in action soon for some indoor racing in the next couple of weeks. We had soccer. I know you're a big fan. So we had Young Athlete of the Year was Ella Malloy. She got her first Irish cap this year. She's just had such a great year in relation to her career. I think she's really putting herself on the map, and she just is just really, I think, loving playing football, and she's just stepping into the bigger challenges really, really well. She scored 8 goals for Wexford Youths in the Women's National League, and she also won the Young Player of the Year for the Women's National League as well. So definitely one to watch over the next couple of years. I know she is in senior cycle of school, so she will be finishing out school, and then I guess looking to see where she might go to university, whether she's going to remain in Ireland or if she's going to travel abroad. That's another thing to watch out for. And then last but not least, Kilkenny. They won the Team of the Year. So they won the All-Ireland Championship this year. It is their 14th title in history. They have been in the final before and now walked away with a win. So it's brilliant that they managed to get enough points on the board to claim the win this year. And I think just in general, I think Camogie is very exciting at the moment. There's like a couple of strong teams up there, everybody pushing each other on. So yeah, that's what we have in relation to the awards. Did you expect those, or had you a couple of people in mind that you thought might have picked up the title?
I actually, part of me was kind of thinking Athlete of the Year would go, no offense to Ciara McGeehan, but it would go to Katie Taylor. And it's not that I have any, like Ciara McGeehan is as worthy of a winner as Katie Taylor. A part of me just kind of thought with the way all the public votes had gone for Katie Taylor, judges, RT, Irish Times, different things like that, that it was kind of just nailed on for her. But Ciara McGeehan definitely came out on top. And I think even for our younger audiences and people who are picking up kind of women in sports, it's actually nice to see a new fresh face kind of come along. It's great to see Ciara obviously get it. I know I was talking to Sonia last week. She's not at all bitter about her Diamond League record. If anything, no, she's stoked. She's just, I think in general, if you're an athletics fan, you're just incredibly excited that you have a very high potential and a good hope for Olympic and World cycles that are coming up kind of soon enough. Ellen Malloy, Young Athlete of the Year. I think it was very hard to overlook her. This is my soccer bias. Just to tip my hat here. I think she's just phenomenal in everything that she has done. I think she's an incredible player. I think her tactical knowledge is something it's insane for someone of her age. Like she's playing like someone who's been in the league for the last few years more so. And even if that has come back from like a professional league, maybe over in England or Holland or kind of different places like that. So it's great to see her thrive. And hopefully under Vera, I know Vera Pow, the Irish coach, she likes that kind of player. She likes I suppose, a bit of a pivot in the middle and someone who can, be there in defence, but also go forward, create the pass on the attack and also score goals. And she's proven that for Wexford Youths as well. So more power to her. It's exciting to see where her career can possibly go. As for Team of the Year, I think it was kind of hard to overlook Kilkenny as well. Obviously we had Peas in there as well, and from a soccer point of view, and Peas, I suppose they won the double, but I think because Kilkenny had been knocking on the door at the Camogie Championship for just so long, it was just hard to overlook them. As a Cork person, I was delighted to just see them score more than 3 points. But no, I think overall, what Brian, manager, has done with the team has been absolutely incredible. And I think it is interesting that the likes of Anne Dalton is able to have her swan song, bless her, and go off riding into the sunset with an All-Ireland medal, a couple of All-Ireland medals. She deserves it. Their older players deserve it more than anything else. But the hunger and the youth that's on that panel, it means they'll be there for quite some time. So should be very exciting. I know you've got some big news in terms of ambassadors and what's been going on over in her sport. We've all been very busy, guys. You may think we just sit and record. We do a lot of stuff in our spare time. But ambassador-wise, you have a very important and cool announcement.
Yeah, so we have had this in the works for a while. We just weren't able to announce it before the awards because it was one of the nominees. So Raven Parsons is going on board as a brand ambassador for her sport. So she was obviously one of the stars of the show for the Six Nations tournament, and again, somebody who has just shown great maturity and really been such a crucial part of the team that she's on. So playing with the Irish rugby team, she got to handle the ball. She really contributed to the team, and again is just so young. Like she had actually stepped back after a couple of the Six Nations matches to concentrate on her leaving cert, and then obviously everybody went into lockdown and games were postponed. So she has since made it through leaving cert year and has started in university. So I guess she'll have potentially a better setup, a bit more support, and a bit more time to focus on rugby as well as studies. So it's very exciting to see what is going to happen for Maven over the next few years. She's certainly someone that's very, very talented. So yeah, it's great to have her on the team. But we'll have a few more announcements in the next few weeks as we reveal a few more. But yeah, I think like in relation to the awards as well, like losing the earphone again. Yeah, in relation to the awards, like we had such a stellar list for all of the different categories. I think in relation to Kira's win, like it was fantastic, and like it's the first woman to go under 2 minutes for 800 and then breaking a 27-year-old record. Like it's brilliant to hear that Sonia is so supportive, and it's just like if you want to see your country succeed, like a record that has stood for 27 years, it's not going to get you a win now because other countries are getting faster and faster and faster. So if you want to see your country succeed and the athletes succeed, like you have to want the record to be broken at the same time, although like you might want to hold on to it a little bit. But she's certainly been someone that's been so inspirational for people beyond athletics, but I think she's so crucial in the athletics community and hugely well respected. Katie Taylor obviously had a fantastic year. I think look, she won her 2 fights and she retained her title, but I think like she's really, really well known in Irish sport, and she does amazing things all the time. I think as the years went, like 3 national titles and medals and that type of thing is great to see something recognised. Look, we're going to see Katie back next year. She picked up the win last year for her sport awards. She was named the athlete of the year. And look, I'm delighted to see her win Athlete of the Year or Sports Person of the Year with RC. Like that was a great recognition, and she's picked up some other awards this year as well. But I don't know if you saw, there's a little bit of Sam Bennett should have won it on a couple of channels around social media, which I think people are getting in fights basically on social media over. And what I just say is, look, we're never going to please everybody, and if people are involved in cycling, they might think that Sam Bennett should have won it, and people are involved in boxing, they're going to think that Katie Taylor should have won it, and just depends on the sport you came from. Like even with our own awards, we're never going to please everybody. Everybody has different opinions, but these are our winners this year, and we certainly stand by them. They absolutely had fantastic years. But yeah, I mean, Ellen and Kilkenny have really deserved it as well. But I think we have a few more things to look forward to this year, and I'm sure it'll be even more competitive with the awards next year. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we have been very busy. We have a few exciting things that we're working on, so I think we'll have some more things to reveal to people soon. Have you any news for us? Something that you got up to in the week that you want to let everybody know about? Are you still singing your mass hymns, or have you moved on from those?
I am. I'm still singing mass hymns, specifically when I'm on the mat, praying that the pain will go for me eventually if I'm doing Pilates or yoga.
Yeah.
No, I think all in all, I think like yourself now, it's busy in terms of the women in sports. But actually, we've some very exciting stuff coming up too. Obviously, I work in the Irish Times too. We've got some very exciting interviews coming forward. Same with the It's Just Sport podcast. So we're both working away, we're both tipping away, and we're both having good time. So hopefully everyone is enjoying the podcast so far. This is I think our second week in a row in terms of running it. And yeah, I'm having a total blast. Are you having a blast, Niamh?
Yeah, loving talking about all the different sports and everything that we have. It's great to share all the news with such an audience. Actually, something I should mention is when we talk about Ellen Malloy, like you're talking about how she's kind of fit into the Irish outfit and also into actual heats like really, really well. But we actually interviewed her recently, so if anybody wants to check that out, there's a video interview and also an article, and she just talks about playing on the same team as Katie McCabe and being a bit starstruck, but then also kind of having composure. Like, she has the composure on the pitch, and it's interesting as a younger player moving up into that senior team, and people that you are essentially have idolized for such a long time are now your teammates. So I think it's really interesting, and it's great to get that perspective. And I think it shows to people that are particularly in teams that, like, you can do it and you can get up there, and other people might have experienced a bit of shyness and maybe been a bit starstruck also, and it's not unusual to feel that, and then you just show people what you can do, get stuck into the team, and yeah, I mean, then you'll be great friends, great teammates with these other people that you're playing with. So yeah, that's an interesting one certainly to check out. But I think that's all we have to talk about today, really. We'll have more updates on Ciara Neville and Sarah Lavin and Nadia Power very soon. So certainly tomorrow we'll have the news on what happened in the Czech Republic, which is later today.
Very exciting. So don't forget to tune into our socials at hersport.ie and at Joanne_OX on Twitter, and on Instagram at hersport.ie and at Joanne. We will be publishing all the news as it's coming into us left, right, and centre. It is an incredibly busy time. It's an exciting time to be part of women in sport. I remember, as Declan McBennett of RT once told me, the train is gone. Whether you want to be on the train or not is up to you. So, Niamh, I think our train is tooting, because I think we're hitting our last stop going through our news. It's been great to talk to you, Niamh.
You too. I shall talk to you very, very soon.
Cheerio.
Bye.